Recognizing and reporting abuse. HomeWatch Caregivers has a zero-tolerance policy against abuse or neglect of any kind. The types of abuse. Physical abuse is anything that hurts the body, for example, pinching, slapping, or hair pulling. Sexual abuse is touching or caressing the private parts or having any type of sexual relations. Verbal abuse is yelling, screaming, name-calling, or making threats. Financial abuse, taking money, property, or gifts. Active neglect, purposefully withholding food, personal items, or not assisting the client. Passive neglect, telling a client something and forgetting to do so, or failing to do so, for instance, not putting in dentures or putting on eyeglasses. Anything which hurts, threatens to hurt, humiliates, or makes the client feel violated in body or spirit is abuse and or neglect and must be reported to HomeWatch Caregivers. Any caregiver may be in the position to see abuse or neglect in a client. Learn to recognize the signs of abuse so that you can report it if you need to. Signs of physical abuse may include bodily symptoms such as bruises, lacerations or abrasions, welts or rashes, broken or healing bones, or burns. It may include behavior changes such as restricted movement, cringing or acting fearful, agitation or drowsiness. It may include physical decline such as weight loss or noticeable decline in physical or well-being. It may also include unexplained or conflicting reports between resident and staff or family members about the cause of injuries. Signs of sexual abuse may include bodily indications such as bruising or bleeding in the genital area, inner thighs, or around the breasts, fingertip bruising on the upper arms, or unexplained sexual transmitted diseases. Also included may be signs on underclothing or incontinence pads or bed linens of blood or fluids, or behavior changes such as the use of sexually explicit language or references, fear of certain people or places, fear of touch, or wearing additional clothing, especially to bed. The signs of verbal abuse can include loss of interest in activities or environment, passivity or withdrawal, helplessness or apathy, fearfulness or nervousness around a particular person, insomnia or sleep changes, and a reluctance to talk openly. Signs of financial abuse can include financial troubles such as unpaid accounts or lacking money needed to pay for outings or other purchases, evidence of loss or theft such as jewelry, personal belongings, or cash, money missing from accounts, and behavioral changes such as changing his or her mind about their power of attorney frequently, being fearful or anxious when discussing finances. Signs of neglect can include physical signs such as poor hygiene or personal care, an unkempt appearance, weight loss, or inappropriate clothing. Environmental signs such as a dirty or unsafe home environment or lack of food in the home. And behavioral changes such as secretiveness, withdrawal, or agitation. When to report abuse. You should report abuse if you observe the signs that are talked about in this training, if you are told by someone that they are being abused, or told by someone that they are abusing someone else, or if you witness the abuse or neglect happen. If you are aware of or suspect abuse or neglect, you must report it to your president or general manager. You must also fill out an incident report. Your president or general manager will report the abuse to Adult Protective Services if it is an adult, or Child Protective Services if it is a child. We need you to be available and cooperative with the investigation in case they need any more information from you. HomeWatch Caregivers prohibits retaliation made against any employee or client who reports a good faith complaint of abuse or neglect. However, making false accusations in bad faith can have serious consequences, including disciplinary action up to and including termination. Home watch caregivers will take any allegation of abuse or neglect seriously and will promptly and thoroughly investigate whether the abuse or neglect has taken place. Our company will report any abuse or neglect to Adult Protective Services or Child Protective Services and cooperate fully with any investigation. We do provide notice that any accused employee may be put on leave of absence or reassigned to non-patient contact until the conclusion of an investigation. The company makes every reasonable effort to keep matters involved in the allegation as confidential as possible while still allowing for a prompt and thorough investigation. In conclusion, as a caregiver, you are in the position to keep an eye out for your client's safety and well-being. Learn to recognize the signs of abuse and neglect. Report any suspected or actual abuse or neglect to your president or general manager, and be available and respectful of the investigation and keep any accusation confidential.